Now, here's your Hinds WHUC Sports.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on WHUC Sports Journal. I'm Tamora Heyman.
And I'm Christopher Farish. And today, we're speaking with Hinds Community College head women's basketball coach, Perry Fletcher. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. Glad to be on the show.
Yes, sir. So I noticed that you're bringing back 4 players from last year. So what do those players mean to you, and how do they do with bringing the culture from last year to this team?
Well, actually, I think we're bringing back maybe 5. One young lady was supposed to transfer, but she ended up coming back. And the girls that we're bringing back are the foundation. They're the anchors of this team. Last year was my first year here, and we had about 13 girls, and we lost a lot, and some of them we let go. But the ones that we brought back are instrumental because those are the ones that's bought into the new shift and the culture change here. So I'm excited to have those 5 back, and I think with the young ladies that we brought in to mix with them, I think we're going to have a chance to really revitalize the program here at Hinds.
So, what do you see in your leaders? We know you don't have captains, you have leaders. So, what do you see in them?
Right, you're exactly right. I believe you vote on captains, but leaders emerge. And the thing about leaders, we want the players that don't just show up on game day and want to put on a uniform and want to be here to be mesmerized by the crowd. The leaders are the ones that's here in the trenches. When no one is here down bottom, they go into class. When there's nobody in the stands at practice, they going hard, they diving on the floor for loose balls in practice. Those are the young ladies that we want to build this program on their backs, because those are the kids that at the end of the day you can win with. A lot of kids just won't pats on the back and praise from the stands, but you know, the leaders, we expect for them to lead not by just what they say, but by example. So that's why I feel real good, optimistic about this season, because the young ladies that we have, they are leaders, and they lead by example and not just by mouth.
Understood. It seems that you have an incoming freshman that's setting everyone on fire. She's a freshman leading the team in points per game. Was it expected or unexpected?
It was expected. The Lord blessed us to go to Huntsville, and we found a young lady, Maria Jones, there. And when I saw her play in high school and I saw what she did for her team, I knew that she could come in and make an impact right away. And that's what we did. This program has been down for some years, and in order for us to get it back up and going, we needed to bring in some players who could be impact players right away. And that's what she does for us, and we're excited about her, as well as the other freshmen, Jada Mars from Madison Central, Leah Roberts. We have hometown Leah Roberts right here from Utica, Mississippi, that went to Raymond, and Jalea Pree and Jair Smith, those kids from Jefferson County. So we're excited about our freshmen that we brought in.
What is your strategy to motivate players and build morale?
The biggest thing is to get to know them individually. You know, some coaches, they like to coach everybody from the same vein or the same personality, but I feel like you have to get to know each player individually. They all different. And once you find out what makes them tick, once you find out their buttons that you need to press, I think that's what makes the difference. I believe a kid, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that's my biggest pet peeve. You know, I really feel like if you can motivate and let them know that, hey, I'm here for you, not just for what you can do for me on this court, but I'm here for you to make sure you excel in life. I think that's the biggest difference, and that's what I aim to do.
So, all right. We've been having a great time talking to Coach Fletcher. We'll be right back with you after this break.
For more than 4 decades, you have trusted us to be the #1 college news source that cares for you from the beginning to the end. So now, we're proud to say that we've won the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters Awards. And we will continue to try to keep you knowledgeable and focused on stories that are happening around you. We are Hinds' very own WHUC News 7, named #1 by the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome back to WHUC Sports Journal, where we are here talking to the head ladies basketball coach, Perry Fletcher.
All right, Coach. You guys shot 50% from 3 last game. What would you tell me is the identity of this team?
Well, actually, we're a family. The identity, I mean, we're not the biggest team in the league. Our identity is we're scrappy. You know, our assistant coaches, Coach Perry and Coach Mouton, they do a great job of bringing the girls in here and working with them individually. They both live on campus. They here in Utica. They all in. They bring the young ladies in. They have them on the gun. They shoot. They work. So the biggest thing, we're a family. That's our identity. And on the court, we're real scrappy. We're gonna defend you, and we're gonna play till the buzzer goes off. So that's kind of our identity. And like I said, if it wasn't for my assistant coaches, they do all the legwork. You know, they're here with these girls day in and day out. They bring them in the gym. They there in the dormitories. So I think that's the huge benefit for our program.
What would you say separates a struggling team versus a successful?
Mentality. I think it's the mentality and the attitudes of your team, the temperament of your team. You know, you can be struggling, but if you have the right attitude, no one will know you're struggling. And that's one of the things we try to be positive in our program. That's the work ethic, and all that stems from your mentality. You know, just because you're struggling, you may play against some team that's more talented than you, but it's not the best talent that wins. It's the best team, and that's what we try to promote. We try to be positive. You know, we lost our starting point guard, Jail Ransom, 2 weeks before our first game, and you know, it was devastating. She had some family emergencies that she had to deal with, and it was devastating. You know, and our heart was out for her. But that's just the character of this team. We rallied together and we made do, the next man up, and we try to do the best we can. Well, we know we were limited with player personnel, but those girls stepped up and we did the best that we could. Nobody pouted about it. And we 2 weeks in the season, and now our point guard is back. You know, Jail Ransom is back, so we looking to get her back in shape, grooving, and hopefully by next week she'll be on deck and we'll be able to pick up where we left off.
How are you and your assistant coaches with teaching and developing fundamentals versus allowing creativity?
That's a great question, man. Actually, one of the things, you know, I've been coaching 20 years. I've coached men and women. That's the thing about coaching men. The boys, they're so athletic, and you have to leave room for them to be creative. You can't overcoach and take that away from your players. So with boys more so, you have to be cautious. Well, with girls are typically, no offense women, are not as athletic as boys. So they kind of tend to lean more to systematic play. But at the same time, you have to do a good job of developing their individual skill set so they won't be programmatic or robotic. You need that, because at the end of the day, the other team may take away what you're trying to do, X's and O's, and you got to have some players to be willing to go make a bucket. And if all they know is just to play, then you kill the creativity and your team will struggle. That's one of the reasons why I value Coach Perry, Kawhi Perry. She played at Murrah High School, went on to Jackson State and played, and she played a little bit overseas. She's phenomenal with individual skill development. Same way with Coach Mouton. She played at William Carey. She's phenomenal with individual development. They're guards. That's huge, I think, this year in the program. There's one thing to get an assistant, but when you have an assistant coach that has played on the highest level, it makes it a little better for your team.
You are a preacher, so how do you implement that into your coaching staff?
Wow. Yes, I am. That's who I am. When I know who I am, I walk in that. And coaching is a lot like pastoring or preaching. I mean, it's all about leading people to their destination. As a pastor, you're trying to lead a congregation to their next destiny. As a coach, you're trying to lead a group of your team to their next destiny. So it ties in. That's why the motivational piece is so important. I don't force my belief on anybody that I coach. But who I am, that's who I am. You know, if somebody asks me a question, then I'm gonna give them an answer. But I lead by example. And you have to understand that life is all about relationships. So as a coach, I'm big in creating relationships. So I want to make sure I create a positive relationship with my kids, that they understand what's the most important thing in life. And at the end of the day, that's your relationship with your faith. So that's I don't separate the two. I am who I am. They knew I was a preacher when they hired me. So if they didn't want a preacher, they shouldn't have hired me.
Yes, sir. Let me get one more question, Coach. You say you've been coaching for over 20 years. So would you say your basketball is moving into more analytics? Are you more of an analytical coach, or are you more old-fashioned?
Man, you're going to be on SportsCenter. Actually, I'm old-fashioned, man. I know I may look young. I don't have no hair like Dr. Chrysler. He's, he's my hero. But I'm old-fashioned, man. I'm from the old school. I believe in, in the summertime, I don't believe in air conditioning in the gym. I want to cut the heat on in the summertime with my kids. That's another way to help get in shape. That's just an example of just old-fashioned. I'm, discipline. Hey, everybody wear the same socks. Everybody wear the same. What we gonna do? We're gonna be uniform. Now I know that hurts me with the new school because everybody want to be different. We're in the age of iPhone. It's all about I. But I'm old-fashioned. Matter of fact, I was coaching at a high school before I came here. Very talented group of guys, athletic team. Probably one of the most athletic teams in the state. But I stepped down from coaching them because that new school of coaching that, just dribble, drive, get up and down, that's just not who I am. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to stunt anybody else's growth, so I had to put myself in a position where who I am as a coach can be accepted. So I would say I'm old-fashioned, but I got to, I'm not Fred Flintstone. So we try to make some adjustment, but pretty old-fashioned.
Yes, sir. Well, we've had a great time talking to Coach Fletcher. Thank you for joining us again on WHUC Sports Journal. Thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me.